Hello students, hope you all doing well. So first let me introduce myself. I am Gargi Pamar, Assistant Professor PTA in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, Gurgaon. Here I am going to start an online lecture series on subject company accounts. So let's start with our lecture. So first of all, we go through with content or topic which we are studying in online lecture. These are the topics which we are going to study in our online lecture series. See, what are the topics? Accounting for share capital transaction, alteration of share capital, buyback of shares, acquisition of business and profit prior to incorporation, debentures, issue of debentures, methods of redemption of debentures, underwriting of shares and debentures, statutory provision regarding preparation of company's final account, preparation of P&L account, balance sheet as per the Schedule 6 of Companies Act, features of accounting standard 4, 5, 15, 17, 18, 29, company's liquidation account, valuation of goodwill and shares, and banking company accounts and insurance company accounts. So all these topics we will cover in our lecture series, online lecture series. So first topic we are going to cover is accounting for share capital. Before understanding the accounting for share capital, we have to study that what is the share capital. See what is the share capital of a company. A company, being an artificial person, cannot generate its own capital, which is necessary to be collected from several persons. These persons are known as shareholders, and the amount contributed by them is called share capital. So, see, before start a company, we need a huge amount of money. We need a huge amount of capital. So that huge amount cannot collect from a single person. That's why a company divides its whole capital in several parts, in various parts. These parts are known as shares, and money that is collected through these shares will be known as share capital. Okay, and the person who subscribe these shares, who apply for these shares, who allocate these shares are known as shareholders. So there is a huge number of shareholders who invest in a company as a share capital. So it is not possible to maintain separate account for each shareholder. That's why company create a single amount for whole single account for all the shareholders, which is known as share capital account. Okay. So let's understand that an example, if a company needs 10 lakh rupees to start a company. Company needs 10 lakh rupees to start this business. So he cannot collect that money from a single person. That's why a company will divide this capital in several parts. These parts are known as shares, and the person who subscribe these parts, who invest in these parts, are known as shareholders. Okay, so this is your share capital. Now, share capital may be of many types. We divide share capital in several parts. So let's talk about these parts. So there are various types of share capital. First type of share capital is authorized share capital. So what is authorized share capital? Authorized capital is the amount of share capital which a company is authorized to issue by the memorandum of association. The company cannot raise more than the amount of capital as specified in the memorandum of association. So basically, authorized share capital is the maximum amount of a capital for which a share can be issued by a company. So maximum amount which a company can issue as a share capital are known as authorized capital, and this maximum amount is mentioned in the memorandum of association always. Okay. Now, second type of capital is issued capital. What do we understand by issued capital? Issued capital is that part of authorized capital which is actually issued to the public for subscription. So see, this is not mandatory by a company, not mandatory for a company to issue all the share authorized capital in one time. Okay, so company can issue this authorized capital in public in several parts. It is not mandatory to issue whole capital in a single time. So company can issue the authorized capital to public in several parts, in different times. So that part of authorized capital which a company issued to public are known as issued capital. and that part of authorized capital which company not issued to public are known as unissued capital. Okay, so issued capital basically is that part of authorized capital which a company issued to public for subscription. Okay, now let's talk about next type of capital, that is subscribed capital. Subscribed capital is that part of issued capital which is actually subscribed by the public. Now, see, company issued capital to the public. Now it is up to public that that public wants to subscribe that capital. Company wants to invest in share capital of company or not. It's all up to public. So that portion which is subscribed, which is applied by the public, are known as subscribed capital, and which is not applied, that part which is not applied by the public are known as unsubscribed capital. Okay, so that part of issue capital which is actually subscribed by public, for which application received by the public are known as subscribed capital. Now there is a rule that see here. It may be noted that ultimately the subscribed capital and issued capital are the same because of the number of shares subscribed is less than the what of the companies allowed the number of shares for this subscription can be received. In case it is higher than what is offered, the allotment will be the equal of other. In other words, the fact of oversubscription is not reflected in the book. See what happens if you issued, if a company issued shares for rupees 5 lakhs. Now applications received for 6 lakhs. Public subscribes 6 lakhs capital. Then in that case, company have to issue only shares of rupees 5 lakhs. He cannot subscribe, he cannot allot 6 lakhs rupees shareholders, share capital. So what the company has to do, a company can subscribe and can allot only that portion which he issued to public. Okay, so that amount which is subscribed by the public cannot be more than the issued capital. Okay, now next part is called up capital. What is called up capital? See, it is the part of the subscribed capital which has been called up on the share. The company may decide to call the entire amount or part of the face value of the share. See what happens, sometimes company divides its face value of share in several parts. That is in some money he called on application, some money he called on allotment, some money he called on first call and second call on. So company divide face value of a share in various parts. It may be application, it may be allotment, it may be first call, it may be final call. Okay, so company divides the face value of a share with various parts, and these parts are known as call. Okay, if a company, suppose, let's understand the example. If the face value of a share allotted is rupees 10, if face value of share is 10, and company call is 10 rupees, 3 on application, or suppose 4 on allotment and 3 on first call, then in that case company distribute these parts, distribute this 10 amount in these parts, but still he called for application and 4 rupees allotment. He is still not called for first call. That means called up capital is 3 rupees on application and 4 rupees on allotment. Total called up money is 7 rupees. 3 rupees on first call is still uncalled by the company, that is called uncalled capital. So that part of subscribed capital which company has already called by people, by public, will be known as called up. In the for example, if face value of share allotted is 10 rupees, then called up money is 7 rupees, and that means 3 rupees is uncalled capital, because we still a company still called only application money and allotment money, that is 3 and 4 respectively. So company called only rupees 7, still 3 rupees is still uncalled capital. Okay. Now let's talk about paid up capital. So paid up capital is that portion of called up capital which people have paid, which the shareholders already actually paid. So it is the part of called up capital which has been actually received by the received from the shareholder by the company. When shareholder has paid all the call amount, the called up capital is same as to paid up capital. when company called amount on capital, then that portion of that called up money which is actually paid by the shareholders will be known as paid up capital. Okay, and which is not paid by the shareholders will be known as called. That part of called money which is not paid by the shareholders will be known as called asset. Okay. Now let's talk about uncalled capital. We notice an example, that is we give an example that face value of a share is 10 rupees and the company has already called 7 rupees. That means uncalled capital is still is 3 rupees. So the same is uncalled capital, the portion of subscribed capital which has not yet been called up. As stated earlier, the company may collect this amount any time when it needs further funds. So uncalled capital can be called anytime whenever the company needs that amount. Now let's talk about reserve capital. A company may reserve a portion of its uncalled capital to be called only in the event of the winding up of the company. Sometimes what happens, company reserves some part of uncalled capital for the winding up time. When company face any opposite situation, that time the company will call that money, company will call that share capital. So that capital which company reserves as a portion of uncalled capital is known as share reserve capital. Okay, so these are the various parts of share capital. Types of share capital. Authorized capital is maximum amount that a company can issue to public. Issued capital, which that part of authorized capital which company actually issued to public to subscribe. Subscribe capital, that part of issued capital which which the public actually subscribe. What is called up money, that portion of subscribed capital which company already called. And what is paid up capital, that part of called up paid up capital, that part of called up capital which shareholders already paid is known as paid up capital. And what is uncalled capital, that portion of subscribed capital which is not yet called by the company is not uncalled capital. And reserve capital, reserve capital, that portion which a company reserve for a safer side, which is known as reserve capital, and that amount is only be called at the time of winding up of the company, at the time of liquidation, at the time of ending of the company. That company the amount can be called. Okay, so these are the types of share capital. Now let's talk about types of shares. Now let's talk about type of shares. There are two types of shares: preference shares and equity shares. There are two types of. What do you understand by preference shares? According to Section 85 of the Companies Act 1956, a preference shares is the one which fulfills the following condition. So what is the first condition? That it carries a preferential right to dividend to be paid either at a fixed amount payable to preference shareholders on an amount calculated by fixed rate of nominal value of each shares before any dividend is paid to the equity shareholders. So see what who are the preference shareholders? The shareholders which have first right to receive the dividend when company will declare the dividend. So, these shareholders will be known as preference shareholders. And what the second condition? At the time of winding up, the shareholders which have preferential right to receive the payment, receive the repayment of capital are known as preference shares. So if a shareholder fulfills both the conditions, that means he is preference shareholder. Okay. Now, second type of share is equity share. What is the equity shares? Who are the equity shareholders? According to Section 85 of Companies Act, an equity share is a share which is not the preference share. That means shareholders which don't have any preferential right to receive dividend or don't have any preferential right to receive their money, their repayment of capital at the time of winding up. Okay, so equity shareholders are those shareholders which don't have any preferential right to receive dividend or any amount. That is called equity share. Okay. Now we will study the steps that to be followed when we issue the share capital. Then when we issue the share. So these are the fixed steps which we follow to issue the shares. Okay. So first step is issue the prospectus. Before the issue of before the issue of shares, the company has to issue the prospectus, and in that prospectus, company will mention then how much how many shares will be issued, what will be the face value, and all these, what will be the dividend rate, and all these things will be mentioned in the prospectus. So first, before issuing the shares, company has to issue the prospectus, and in prospectus, company has to mention all the information about the shares, that which kind of shares is this, whether it is equity shares or preference shares, how many preference shares or equity shares, and what is the face value of shares. After then, once the prospectus has issued, then company will receive the applications, and with the application, shareholders have to pay their application. Then after receiving the application money, company has to allot these shares. Now, see, there is a condition of Companies Act. What is the condition says? The company has to give minimum subscription within 120 days from the date of issue of prospectus. When company issue the prospectus, after that, within 120 days, company has to get minimum subscription. If company doesn't get minimum subscription, then it cannot allot the share. If within the 20 days, company receives the minimum subscription of, only in that case, company can further proceed. Company can further allotted the shares, otherwise not. Now, after receive the application money, company will allot the shares to subscribers who give the application money or who give the application. So if minimum subscription have been received, the company may proceed for the allotment of shares after fulfilling the certain other legal formalities. So company now, if this condition is fulfilled, minimum subscriptions condition is fulfilled, then in that case, company now can allot the shares to the public. Okay. So after the allotment of shares, company will call their money, like allotment money, will call post money, and so this is all about the introduction of share capital, introduction of shares, types of share capital. Further, next topic, in next lecture, we will talk about accounting of share capital. So that we will accounting of share capital. Sorry. So that's it for today. Thank you, guys.